Hello, today is Sunday. It is the 28th day of September 2014. Welcome to today's Pro Football Average Points Per Game chart analysis. Something different. An interesting chart to say the least. Go over chart analysis within what you see here. I also got two total picks, over-unders for this weekend's game. One for today's 4 o'clock AFC game and a Monday Night Football total over-under picks for two different games. And I find this chart very interesting and fascinating, which is why I'm choosing to present it. And there's a lot of things that are the same today as they were over 100 years ago. And the one thing that is their want for player safety to improve, but of course to different levels. Today, they just don't want people getting hurt, really severely hurt. Now back then, like I think it was 1904, 1905, 19 players died in 1 year. College players, amateur players, high school players dying on the field. Yeah, that was barbaric. And it's still barbaric, but not so today. And because of that, they brought in what they call the forward pass. And here, the forward pass was legal in the National Football League, but it wasn't 100% forward or complete. There was restrictions, sort of like back in here. We were on a gold standard in money, but it wasn't 100%. And because of that, games were boring, and of course, I never seen any, but 17, 18 points a game. But in 1933, they made a rule change stating that you could throw the ball anywhere behind the line of scrimmage, thus the forward pass as we know it today. And then the major uprise in points, doubling the inflation, which stabilized for so many years, something that the fiat currency inflation has not done. And it's been in the area of around 40 points per game for the last 80 years or so. That's what increased the point total in here. Down in here, the point reductions, I think, were mainly due to the play clock changes, but I'm not going to mainly go over that other than in the late 1970s, the points were going up because of rule changes, again, for player safety. This is where it really started to the days where we are today. They had a long ways to go. We still have a long ways to go today, but definite rule changes to help the offense out. Now, 1994-95 was when the big rule changes occurred to where we are today. 94, they made rules where you could the kickoffs were reduced from the 40-yard line to the 35-yard line, which result in less touchbacks, better field position. That gives you more points. But in 1995, there was a rule stating that quarterbacks were allowed to wear helmet devices where they could listen to the coach while they are playing. Thus, strategy and helping the player out, scoring more points along the way. Now, as we're moving into today, they're doing more and more defensive penalty changes, even some offensive as well. But most of the changes they make these days are to help the offense. People generally like scoring for the most degrees, and fantasy football is as popular as it's ever been, thus more points scored, the more popular fantasy football is. And with all that information, it seems like a gimme that this 50 level will be tested within the next 10 or 15 years for points per game. Okay, so that will be the analysis within this chart. I find it, again, very fascinating chart to say the least. As far as some picks, now I gave some system picks earlier at the start of the year, start of week 2. This week there is 3 plays. There is Green Bay Packers to cover the spread, the Tennessee Titans, and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. But this is a total video. I got 2 total plays. One is Jacksonville and San Diego, and the over-under on this game is 44.5 points, which is right in the area right below the average points per game. And this game should have an over-under over 50 or around 50. This is an amazing play. My best play so far of the year, taking this game over the total. Why would that be the case? Well, number one, the Jacksonville defense, which has allowed about 40 points per game through the first 3 games, is terrible. It's a terrible team. San Diego does know how to move the ball with Phillip Rivers, the veteran quarterback, a very solid, accurate, precision passer. San Diego's going to score points. Now, Jacksonville's bringing in their rookie quarterback, Blake Bortles, to start his first ever game. And when the preseason started, I was very focused on all the rookie quarterbacks and which ones I thought had the best chances of playing amazing. And by far, number one was Blake Bortles. He was able to compose himself well in the pocket. I was very impressed with his accuracy both in the pocket and on the run. And his elusiveness to get out of pressure was very well too. The guy can run and make plays if need be. This quarterback, I think, is going to be the future, and I think he's ready now to average over 20 points per game just himself. That's why I think this total should be in the 50 area. Awesome play. This game gets going today at 4:05 p.m. Eastern Time. Monday Night Football. The game there is the New England Patriots and the Kansas City Chiefs. The over-under for this game is 46 points, which is played on the under the total. And this is an amazing play again. And here's the reason why. Let's first start talking about the New England Patriots. For the first time, I think, since the Patriots were first in the Super Bowl back in the 1980s, their defense is better than their offense. It has come through amazing to start. The New England Patriots fantasy defense ranked number 1 this year. And their offense, well, let's see, their offensive line is terrible. They traded Logan Mankins in the offseason to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's having a hard time protecting Tom Brady. They're oftentimes having to have extra protection, and their run blocking has not been that great. Their wide receiver talent is probably amongst the worst in the National Football League. They don't know if they're coming or going. And then you got a Tom Brady character who's getting close to 40 years old. Now you have to start asking the question, is he at the stage of major regression? It's looking that way. On the Kansas City Chiefs side, you have a team that, as far as tempo is concerned, plays a very slow, methodical way of moving the ball. Lots of plays for a single drive. A lot of screen passes, a lot of 4 or 5 yard plays. I expect them to keep the tempo of this game lower, and thus the game should probably have a total closer to the low 40s, 41 or 42 as a good median. So I like the under Monday night between the Kansas City Chiefs and the New England Patriots. So thank you for tuning in to today's video and have yourself a magnificent week upcoming. Bye-bye.